We're now live on YouTube, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you all to the Licensing Act 2003 Subcommittee meeting. Can I please ask that members comply with the COVID-19 social distancing and guidance issues around the building? There is no planned fire drill today, so if the fire alarm does sound, members of staff will guide you safely out of the meeting. As this meeting is being streamed, please ensure that your microphones are close enough to pick up your voice, and that if you wish to speak, please press the button on your microphones. Finally, when the meeting has concluded, can I please ask members of the panel to place their papers in the large blue receptacles by the door and any items of rubbish in the swing bin container. Thank you. Move on to the agenda. Obviously, the first time is election of the chairman.
I propose Councillor Stanover, sir.
Thank you. Seconder for that, please.
I second that.
Thank you.
Sandra.
Disclosure of interest, if any.
Chair, personal licensee holder.
Thank you. Apologies for absence, if any.
No apologies, Chair.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda would be, and I'm not sure if the police want to exclude the public or not, but it would be to exclude the public and press from the meeting if that's needed.
Lincolnshire Police haven't presented any evidence which isn't already in public domain. However, obviously personal details might come apparent during the hearing that relate to the applicant.
Thank you. It's all right for us?
Yes.
Yes, fine. So it's objections to the granting of the temporary events notices tends to consider the report by the Community Safety Officer. If I can ask Mr. Twiddy, please.
Thank you, Chair. So everybody's aware, I'm the Principal Licensing Officer here at East Lindsey, and I'll just go through the report that's been going to be considered today. I'm assuming, Chair, because it's a temporary event notice, unless all the parties disagree, I presume that you'll want the police to perhaps present their case first,
Yes.
and then, did you want to say something?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Twiddy. I think it may actually save some time if I do. So, good afternoon, councillors. My name is Philip Samarakis. I'm a solicitor with Ince in London, and I'm acting as agent today on behalf of L&L Law Solicitors who act for Mr. Kirisanth. This is an application for 2 temporary event notices, and clearly my instructions today were to represent Mr. Kirisanth in connection with those 2 applications. I've taken instructions from him this afternoon, having spoken to the police, and the decision today is actually to withdraw the temporary event notices. That's on the basis, and if I'm allowed to explain the reason why, these are intended to assist in allowing the shop to open and sell alcohol pending a new premises licence being submitted. Even with the best will in the world, the temporary event notices would not be able to last the duration of any application period. And effectively, what we're asking you to consider this afternoon would be 2 7-day temporary event notices with a gap in between, after which we'd have to stop selling alcohol again. Where we've got to today is that the police have still got some concerns, as you will be aware, in respect to Mr. Kirisanth and his relationship with the premises, which led to the review hearing taking place. There hasn't been a lot of time since the submission of the temporary event notices to have a proper discussion with the police and to see whether there is a proper way forward with suitable conditions that could be attached to a premises licence application. And Mr. Kirisanth has reflected upon that, and for the sake of asking you to allow him to sell alcohol for 2 periods of 7 days, he would rather not proceed with that this afternoon, bearing in mind where the police are at the moment. There is still some room for discussion. I'm not going to prejudice the police's position on that, but certainly it may be an appropriate junction not to continue whilst the police have still got the concerns that they do. And we would rather use that opportunity more effectively to see whether there is an occasion for us to reach a dialogue with the police and see whether there is, in fact, an appropriate way forward. So thank you very much for convening the meeting. I'm sorry that it's been a rather shortened hearing for you, and I apologise in advance for that. But having reflected upon it carefully and having spoken to the police just before the hearing, we feel that's probably the best way forward at this stage.
So, Chair, unless your solicitor wants to say anything to you, I think from the licensing side of things, I think that's probably it. The temporary event notices have been withdrawn,
Yes.
which means there is in effect nothing for you to discuss
Nothing
today.
we can do about it.
I don't know if you want to
Withdrawn
consult with your solicitor, but
Yeah, it's withdrawn the.
I don't know if this is on or not, but
Yeah, just
obviously
that's it.
the notices haven't been withdrawn, or the 10 being withdrawn. There is no need or requirement for a hearing now because it's pretty much agreed, and therefore the hearing can come to an end.
Yes, that's fine. Lovely. Thank you. Well, thank you for coming this afternoon in a short meeting. We'll see how it pans out in the future. But thank you for your attendance this afternoon. I do apologise if it's a short notice, but there's not a lot we can do about that. Thank you very much indeed. And